Hi everyone and welcome. Is there anyone who doesn't like cookies? If you'd sweet, what about salty, crispy, crumbly, buttery, cheese cookies? Let's put soft butter in a bowl and add to it a pinch of salt and a bit of cayenne pepper. If you don't like cayenne pepper, you can replace it with thyme, for example. And let's beat the butter a little till it looks creamy and is mixed with the salt and cayenne pepper. I'll grate the cheese on the coarse grating side of the grater. I am using yellow mature cheddar cheese as we like how the cookies taste with it, but another semi-firm or hard cheese can be used as well. If the cheese has stronger flavor, it will be more noticeable in the cookies. Let's add the cheese in the bowl and mix it well with the butter. Lastly, we need to sift in the flour. As usual, I'm adding the flour gradually. And mix to form consistent dough. It is still too wet, so I'll add the remaining flour. Now the dough is crumbly, but it does not stick to the sides of the bowl or my hands anymore. I can shape it into a ball which holds together. As the dough has a lot of butter, it needs to be kneaded just enough to be consistent. Otherwise, the butter will keep softening because our hands are warm. The dough is ready. Let's wrap it into a plastic wrap and put in the fridge for about an hour or till we're ready to bake. I will cut the dough in two pieces and add sun-dried tomatoes to one part of the dough to make the cookies a little different. For that, I will chop 3 sun-dried tomatoes into small pieces. I drain the oil as much as possible from them to prevent adding too much liquid to the dough. Let's add the tomatoes to the dough and mix. The tomatoes and oil are making the dough a little sticky, so I need to add another spoon of flour to it. And the dough with dried tomatoes is ready too. I will wrap and put it in the fridge as well. When ready to bake, let's set the oven to heat to 180 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I had the dough in the fridge for longer than an hour, so it has hardened quite a bit and will be crumbly when I try to roll it. I'll dust the kitchen countertop with a little bit of flour and roll the dough. You can shape the cookies as you want. I will shape them like a crescent. I'll arrange the cookies on the baking tray, leaving some space between them, as they will expand a little while baking. I have a silicone baking mat on the baking tray. This time I'm not dusting it with flour or greasing with oil, as the cookies have a lot of butter and should not stick to the baking mat or parchment paper. I also made a small batch of dough with Manchego cheese and added thyme to it to have the third variety of cheese cookies. These cookies will be whiter. As the cheese is harder than cheddar, I grated it on the fine grating side of the grater. Let's put the cookies to bake for about 10 to 15 minutes till they just slightly start to show color. It is important not to overbake these cookies, as otherwise they can get bitter. In my oven, 180 degrees is too high, therefore I prefer to bake them at 160 degrees for 15 minutes, instead of baking them hotter and quicker. As you know your oven, adjust the temperature as you feel needed. Remove the cookies from the oven and let them cool on the baking tray for a few minutes. They're very soft, but will harden a little as they cool down. Thank you for joining me today and see you next week. Enjoy the cookies. Bye!